So Monday we started this Unit 4 packet and we learned how to look at a graph and determine where it increases and decreases. So we're going to start today by reviewing that. Because see at the bottom of this page, you're going to have to put the interval of increase and interval of decrease. So let's start there. Alright, when you see this graph, how many times is it increasing? Once. If you look right here, isn't that going up from left to right? So that's increasing. Now, you know how like when you graph something in the calculator, you can tell that whatever it is continues going forever, it just runs off the screen. And the calculator doesn't put arrows, does it? Well, that's the same thing here. This is basically just a screenshot of the calculator, so you need to add in the arrows yourself. Okay, so we can tell that it started increasing right here. Now, when we're talking about intervals of increase and decrease, we only care about which values? The x. So this point where it started increasing is at what on the x-axis? 0. Okay, so it started at 0, and then how long did it increase? Right, forever, which is infinity, and since it's going to the right side, that would be positive infinity. So it increases from 0 to positive infinity. Okay, now let's look at the interval of decrease. Where does this graph decrease? How many times? Just once, because if you're reading this from left to right, this part of the parabola is going down. Okay, well, when did it start going down? Right, because think about it. That's an arrow, which means this continues. So technically, I could keep drawing this forever and ever and ever and ever, right? So it started decreasing forever ago, which is infinity. And since it's to the left, that would be negative infinity. Now, as I make my way down, when does it stop decreasing? At 0. So it decreases from negative infinity to 0. Okay, see how these intervals are very similar? They both have a 0, they both have an infinity. Yep. Okay. Now I want you to skip the next page and go to the next page, the graph that looks like that. Okay, so you're skipping page 5 and going to page 6. Okay, make sure you're paying attention. I still see some of you on the wrong page. We're skipping page 5 and going to page 6. Okay, how many places does this graph increase? 2. We can see that it starts right here, and from there it increases until it gets right there. And then once again, right here, it starts increasing again, and after that it increases forever. Okay, so let's go ahead and write down, since there's 2, I can go ahead and write down 2 sets of parentheses. And what do I put in between them? A U. Now, these graphs are not very good, so let's just count it out together so we all have the same number. This is -1, -2, -3. Well, isn't that point where I plotted its beginning of its increasing kind of in between those two at -2.5? Okay, so it starts increasing at -2.5. So let's write that down. But then where does that section quit increasing? 0. Because remember, we're looking at x values. And if you follow that point down to the x-axis, it's at 0. Okay, now let's look at the other section. Let's count it out. This is 1, 2, 3. Doesn't it look like that lines up with the 3? So it started increasing at 3, and then it increased forever. And since it's right forever, that's positive infinity. Pay attention. Now, how many times does this graph decrease? Twice. There's 2 sections that are going down from left to right. Okay, when did it begin decreasing over here? Negative infinity. When did it quit increasing? -2.5. So from negative infinity to -2.5. And then it also 2.5 in both of them, 0 in both of them, 3, and infinity in both, but one will always be negative, one will be positive because one's going to the left, one's going to the right. Okay, so you should have the same numbers. Because think about it, I mean, it's all connected. Like this one stops increasing at 0 but begins decreasing at 0. That's why you have 0 in both of them. Does that make sense? Okay, now turn back to that page we just skipped, and you're going to try this one yourself. But only the interval of increase and decrease part. Nothing else on this page but those two blocks. Okay, so try those two blocks yourself. Okay, how many sections is that graph increasing? 2. Right here and right here. Okay, so over here, when did it begin increasing? Negative infinity. And then when did it quit increasing? Negative 1. So from negative infinity to negative 1, it's increasing. And then also, it starts increasing again here, which I guess we'll say that's positive 1.5, because it's right in the middle of 1 and 2. And then from 1.5, it increases forever into the right, so positive infinity. So basically, we already know that over here in our decrease, we're going to have what two numbers? Right, you just have to know which one comes first, which one comes second. Well, we can see that it started decreasing at negative 1, and then it quit decreasing at 1.5. Okay, now flip, not to the next, because we already did that one, to the next, and do this one by yourself. How many sections is this graph increasing? 2. It starts increasing right there and ends right there. And then it starts increasing again here, but then this part goes forever. Okay, so I know down here that I'm going to have 2 sets of parentheses. When did it start increasing right here? I'd say negative 2. Like this is a 1 right here. That's 2 and that's 3. So I'd say about negative 2.5. Which on a test you'll have a better graph.
When's the test?
But like, okay, let me draw a straight line up. The test will be right here next to it. I mean, yeah, it's closer to negative 2 than negative 3, but it's definitely not right on it.
Is it going to be like on Friday or something?
We'll just say negative 2.5. It's okay. It's just not a good graph. Okay, then when did it quit increasing? 0. When did it begin increasing again? Let's see, if I follow this up, well, depends on where you start it.
Yeah,
It's kind of close to 2. I mean, it's hard to say. It's just a terrible graph. And then it increased forever. So from 2 to positive infinity. Okay, now, how many times did it decrease? Twice. Well, we already kind of know what we're going to be dealing with over here. We're going to have a negative 2.5 somewhere, a 0 somewhere, a 2 somewhere, and a negative infinity somewhere. Okay. So here is our one section of decreasing. So when did it begin decreasing? Negative infinity. And it continued decreasing until it got to what? Negative 2.5. Okay, so this one and this one have been used. Now we're going to have a 0 and a 2. We just don't know which order yet. Okay? Over here, it began decreasing again at 0 and decreased until it got to 2. So 0 to 2. Okay, now turn to the next page.
Oh my God.
We're going to do it in pieces. Like tomorrow, we'll learn probably this section, and that section, and then Friday these 2. Okay, so turn to the next page. Now you're going to try number 10 and 11 by yourself on the next page. All right, Diana, how many sections is this graph increasing? Why not? I gave y'all a lecture about that.
Yeah, I know, but
So, I mean, I'm going to have to assign seats over there. Okay, Skylar, when did this section, I already highlighted it, when did it start increasing? Negative infinity. When did it quit increasing? Negative 5. So from negative infinity, right here, to negative 5, it was increasing. But it also increases in a second location. When did that start? 0. And then how long did it last? Until it got to 3. So from 0 to 3. How many sections is it decreasing in? Well, 2 sections. And it started decreasing at negative 5. And then it decreased until it got to 0. And then it started decreasing again at 3. And decreased positive 2. Remember, because since it's the x values, we only care about left and right. And yes, this is going down, which kind of makes you want to put negative, but we don't care about down, we care about right. This one's left, so negative. This one's right, so positive. Okay, now try numbers 21 and 22. How many sections is this graph increasing? Just once, right here in the middle. And when did that start increasing? Negative 4. And then up here it quit increasing at 2. Okay, how many times is it decreasing? Twice. When did it start decreasing? Negative infinity. And then right here it quit at negative 4, which makes complete sense since that's where we said it started increasing. See why they duplicate? Because that one point is where it stopped decreasing and began increasing. So that's why they're in both. But it also decreased starting at 2, which is where it stopped increasing, and then it decreased forever. So positive 2. You might have. Okay, now your classwork is to do the next page on your own. But just these type of problems, 10, 11, and then what are the last two? 21 and 22. Those 4 problems are your classwork. Remember, this Friday's 10 square is not over this packet. It's over Unit 3, which we just finished last week. So make sure you have that packet with you Friday. It's on pages 17 through the end of the packet, which is like page 24, I believe. So when you get done with this, you can work on making sure you're ready for the 10 square Friday.